Subtracting polynomials works a lot like adding polynomials. You do want to combine like terms, so anytime that you are adding or subtracting in between your two polynomials, you are going to combine like terms. And just a reminder, a like term is going to be where your variable and the exponent are exactly the same. So, you know, an x to the fifth term can only be combined with another x to the fifth term. Alright, now subtracting polynomials, this is the one that tends to be trickier for people, where I see more mistakes made. I'm going to show you kind of two ways that you can approach this, where pretty much the end result is the same. But anytime that you are subtracting in front of a set of parentheses, so this minus sign right here, you can always put a 1 in front of your set of parentheses. What that does is that gives us a number to distribute into that second set of parentheses. It's like we're going to take the negative 1 and it gets distributed to every term on the inside. So the negative 1 times that x squared actually gives us a negative x squared. The negative 1 times the negative 2x gives us a positive 2x. And then the negative 1 times the positive 4 gives us a negative 4. And then I can even rewrite the beginning of the problem if I want to. The first one, there's no negative to distribute throughout, so that just stayed as a 3x squared plus 4x minus 1. And now we are just going to combine our like terms. So in standard form, you want to have your highest exponent first. So I see I have an x squared. That seems to be the highest exponent in the whole problem, so I'm going to combine my 3x squared with any other x squareds, and here's a negative x squared. So 3x squared and a negative 1x squared give us a 2x squared. Next I see here's a 4x. A 4x will combine with this 2x over here. So 4x plus 2x is 6x. And I wrote plus 6x because it's positive. And then last we have a negative 1 that will combine with a negative 4. Negative 1 minus 4 is a negative 5. And this one is done. So again, what we did on that one is we put a negative 1 in front of our parentheses and used distributing. Another thing that you could do, and I'll see if I have room for it on this. Maybe I can make this a little bigger. Oops. Okay. Alright, so another thing that you could do is if you see that the problem is subtracting the two polynomials, you can go ahead and add the opposite. So you can change the subtracting to plus. And then what's going to happen, make that pen a little bigger. We can change that to plus. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to add all the opposite signs in here. So this is going to become a negative 5x. This will become a negative 2x squared. And this negative 8 will become a positive 8. And now that I made it a plus, really what we're doing is we changed it to an addition problem. Now we're just adding two polynomials, combining our like terms. So when you add or subtract polynomials, look for your highest exponent. I can see we have a 7x squared. That's going to combine with this. Now it's a negative 2x squared. So 7x squared minus a 2x squared is a 5x squared. And then we have this 5x, which will combine with this negative 5x. Well, 5x minus 5x is just 0. So we don't even have to write that term down. And then last we have a negative 12. Make sure you catch that the 12 is negative because of that negative sign in front, which will combine with this positive 8. And a negative 12 plus 8 is a negative 4, so we'll just write minus 4. And just double check, make sure that we didn't miss anything. We got all those terms. So this will be our final answer. So what we did here, two methods. You can distribute a negative 1, or you can add the opposite and add all the opposite signs. Either way, you should get the correct answers with those.